How are you today? Let's just go ahead and get things plugged in. Listen to that tone pot. That's great. Just goes all the way down and all the way up. So we're talking about, what are we talking about today? I guess we're talking about some guitar today. What do you think? Ooh, gotta re-attenuate my approach for this guitar. Yeah, here we go. Let's go ahead and start with, good morning, Mark. Good morning. Got the green machine out this morning. Good morning. Good morning, Anthony. Let's turn this thing off. Tune up. I remember going into music shops when we were younger, and we'd grab the guitar, we'd try out the ESP standard Strat, just a Lake Placid blue with a cream colored pickguard. Beautiful piece of equipment. And plugging it into the old Marshall amp and then tuning it with the distortion on. The shop owner's like, what are you doing? How can you tune a guitar with the distortion on? And I thought, well, it's a pretty easy answer. Overtone series, man. Overtones, man. This guitar feels like it has 10s on it this morning. Oh, one of my favorite guitars. I think we're close. We're not close. We're pretty close. Hope you all had a good day yesterday. Can you all hear the metronome? Is that good? Is it set for, because we're set the metronome for 60 beats per minute so that we can benefit from it for the practice. There we go. I almost felt like I was playing my 91 Fender Strat Plus Deluxe with the roller bearing nut on it, and I thought, man, what a great guitar to have in my hands again. Oh, and then I realized, oh, it's my Schecter. That's good too. Enough. We'll get going. So, M. Fish, good morning. Let's go ahead and dial up the second screen so I can actually see these comments if they do come in, and try to be responsive to these. I'm hearing a lot about what we're hoping to do with the guitar, and this is consistent with what most of us are hoping to do with the guitar. And from the beginning of time, from time immemorial, we've all been wanting to know it all right now, yesterday, or quick while it's fresh in my mind. 3 easy payments of $19.99. But you know, the trick to this is, as you know, about anything else, is continuity. But the experts, you know, when you've siloed yourselves out in different areas of life, different disciplines, you realize that it takes a long time to get to the top of one discipline potentially. But once you get to the top of that hill, you can look out with all of those acquired techniques and talents and information. You're well informed in that one silo, that one discipline, and that helps to translate information over to this. It's like skipping a stone, I think. So, you know, most of us being adult learners, I think a lot of this translates well to our day-to-day practice, like just getting with the guitar, sitting with the guitar, put it on a stand. I'm yapping. I know I'm yapping. So welcome. We'll continue that discussion as we go through the finger warm-ups. I do have a special morning ritual for guitar set with you today. If you're just tuning in, let's go ahead and grab a guitar. Stick around. You might like what's coming up. All right. There's a chance you might not like what's coming up. I don't know how that's possible, but it could happen. 1 E and a 2, or 4 attacks per beat, and we're going between frets 10 and 12, and fingers 2 and, oh no, that's not 2. This would be finger 2 right here, this middle one. And then speaking of middle, 131st episode's coming up, which segments the year of morning ritual for guitar growth into 2 equal pieces. So 131 episode is coming up. I think today's 117. So we do have some big giveaways, so you want to be present for that. Don't tell anybody else about it because you don't want to add to the competition. All right, frets, fingers 3 and 4 on 10 and 12. All right, and away we go. 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. Yes, you do. And it feels great. I love the Strat because the Strat has that contour for your forearm to perch on, upon which to set and perch. And the Telly doesn't have that for me. You know, I do have a few Tellys where I've made some contour marks on it, where I've carved the bodies out of poplar. And I think it's a cool idea, you know, just to have a plank too that, you know, doesn't have any contour lines. It's just a pretty cool idea. But I really like the S model guitar or the Strat style guitar. It's like going into, you know, when the Strat model was announced, the first time it was announced, it was like, you may as well have, you know, we entered the space age, you know, may as well be going to the moon, you know. All right, so we've got, who else do we have here? We've got Anthony, we've got Mark, Sky, good morning. Good morning, Robbie. Oh, guitar, it does look, it should look, I hope it looks green. Paid extra for the paint. Morning, Jill, Marcos, Andre, official hello, my friend. Overtones, man. I went to rewatch Spinal Tap the other day. I can't find anywhere where it's streaming, so if any of you know where I can watch it, I'd love to rewatch that film. Fingers 2 and 3. Let's go ahead. Man, I am just in need of a little bit of focus drill this morning. So we're working on the breath. We'll snap ourselves right into this thing. Snap into it. I know some of you recognize that particular reference, that marketing reference. So fingers 2 and 3 on 10 and 12. Here we go. 1 E and a 2. And you know what to do. So we're going to continue along with, you know, our ritualistic warm-up cycle. And today I happen to be using my fingers. I'm fingerstyling it today. Fingerstyling is not a crime. It's a good bumper sticker. Good shirt. Saturday too. Ash, good morning. Hi. Do you take song requests? I do take song requests. Good day, mate. Good morning, Mr. Fish. M. Fish. Ash, do you take song? I do take song requests. Grabbing my PRS. Oh, it's an electric kind of day in Champlain. Good, we're going back for fingers 1 and 2, keeping this ball rolling. Let's do it. 1 E and a 2 E and a T and a 4 E and a... Fingers 1 and 2, 10 and 12. Yeah, I feel like the Richard Simmons of guitar sometimes. I mean, you know, on maybe a couple of different levels, but not, you know, all of those levels. You can rest assured I'll never show up in an outfit like that. Nothing against it. Just not my particular approach to a wardrobe. Oh, I'd love to see that green guitar. G'day, mate. So, B, what's going on? Hey, what can I do? I remember hearing that. I'm sorry I missed you the other day. Thanks for being here with us today, man. I hope guitar... I haven't checked your channel for a long time. Do you have anything new up there? Richard Ramsey. Good morning, Mr. Ramsey. Flavio. Red Gun. How's life going? You know, I think it's better than some and worse than others, you know. Right there in the middle somewhere. I really do appreciate you asking about that. It means a lot to me to think that, you know, the live chat etiquette is still, you know, some of it's intact enough to be sort of respectful and have those sort of greetings and the salutations and then the goodbyes. But I also understand it's this sort of a revolving door of check in, check out on your leisure. So if you are here and you wouldn't mind, I've got to ask you a really serious question right now. So if you are here and you don't mind, if it doesn't cost you anything, if you're on a mobile viewport, if you could double tap that screen and just give us a little like, you know, smash that like button. Yeah, that'd be great if you can. Join us, grab your guitar and join us if you can. So let's go ahead, we're moving along to fingers 2 and 4. So later on in the show, we're doing a specialization where we're continuing our work on single string modal structures. So you'll want to be around, you'll want to stick around for that. So 1 E and 2, 9 and 12, fingers 2 and 4. And super easy, super simple, super clean. I'm alone, but together with you here remotely. So if you do have questions, love to answer any questions. Good morning, Chris. Good morning. Thank you for being here with us. Don't even look at it or touch it. Julio, good morning, and 0 Hertz official. Oh, good question. I noticed that Fender just released a new series. Did you notice that? It's sort of a satin stand, like an oil stand, an oil rubbed finish. I thought that was pretty cool, pretty timely thing to do. 1 E and a 2, 9 and 12, and fingers 1 and 3. But no, this is the original California custom. It's the old Schecter Traditional. You know, I thought about it, it's made out of all of this guitar. Every bit of this guitar is literally made out of unobtainium. Yeah, when my tech told me that, he's like, Jason, you're not replacing that volume pod, are you? No. Well, I'm like, yeah, Steve, I've got to replace it. And we call him Greavy. But he says, like, no, you can't replace that volume pod. I'll just fix it. It's just... And he brings out this little wrench. And it's a little adjustable wrench that he welded so that it remains at the same place, and it's just, he knew which wrench to grab, and he's like, it's not a box end wrench, it's just what I need for the job. And I'm thinking he's gonna fix this with this problem I'm having with a freaking adjustable wrench. And he comes over, he takes the knob off, he lifts the knob off the guitar, it's on his bench, and he looks up at me, he's like, watch this. And he takes the wrench, he puts it on the nut, and he's just really like breathing really shallow. He's like, okay. And he draws me right in with him, and I'm thinking, what in the hell? So he tightens it up, he twists it a little bit, and then he checks it, and then he twists it again. He puts his hand on top of it, he twists it, and he's like, there, it's fixed. I'm like, how do you know it's fixed? No, I plugged it in, and sure enough, it was fixed. And I'm thinking, what are you doing, man? So I guess if you don't have your, the grounding between the shielding on the bottom of the pickup plate and the potentiometer or your volume pot, there's some grounding there. And if that nut isn't securely seating that up to the bottom of the pickup plate, it can still appear tight, but if it's not up to specification, it will glitch and sound like it's like you have a bad patch chord or something. And so he knew right away what was going on, didn't have to look at it. I got it out of the case, told him what was going on, he took everything off, he's like, I'll fix it. Just makes me feel like a child. All right, let's start with 7 and 12. We're using fingers 1 and 2, and we'll go ahead and get it. Let's go get some today. 1 E and a 2. You know what to do. Do you like playing old school 90s pop? I do. I like old school 90s grunge even better. But I love it all. You know what? I love it all. I mean, it's hard to say. I don't like one thing or the other. Hey, B, good morning. Awesome. Hello, hey, TNX. Hello, Jason. Hello, TNX. That's what you tell all the guys, Anthony. Good morning, just in time. Yeah, what's going on, Guitar for Everyone? Good morning. Great to see you all here. Great to be here. B. Beck is back from the down under. And B. Beck is Australian for guitarist, isn't it? Ain't it? We'll go for fingers, the old finger. This is an Anthony request. This is one of those things that he's introduced. He's brought with him this really wonderful, it's wild. If you're here, smash that like button. Give it a double tap or smash the like button, the love button. If you hit that love button, it's a really fun thing to do. If you hit it just right, it gets a little ethereal, I think. But here we go. Fingers 2, 3, and 4 on frets 10, 12, and 14. Let's go ahead and try that. 1 E and a 2, 10, 12, 14. And we're going 4 attacks per beat, so it's 1 E and a 2 E and a. You know what to do, Yanda. Samuel Gomes does the solo questions, the line above. Ooh. We're going for speed. Yeah, we put honey on everything. We do a yogurt, just like the provisions, you know, the skyr in the morning, really thick, fat yogurt, and put a little homemade granola on it, some berries, and drizzle it with honey on the top, and it's just amazing, just an amazing bit of nourishment. Really great bite in the morning. I totally get hiding the honey jar. Soul Design. Oh, did I miss? I think I missed something. All right, how come no guitar is perfect? Soul, because they are made by man. There you go. I don't know. I've never thought that about. This is, I think, the only guitar I've ever owned that I've actually never questioned whether it's perfect or not. So I'm glad that you mentioned it. I'm glad you mentioned that. I don't think I've ever owned an instrument, like I've gotten rid of like Gibson historic custom shop instruments because my tech could never get them right. And it was just like they were just built on a Friday afternoon or something. But I have another Gibson that I like, my banger right here, that it's like a day-to-day rig that I paid relatively very little money for, and this is the 339. You know, it's got the Winnin' Boys magic written sprinkled all over it, but it's a cool little rig, and you can see that it's you know, it's got everything that you need. This is another one of those guitars that I've never questioned whether it was perfect or not. And so I guess if I never questioned whether it was perfect or not, it must be pretty close to perfect. Funny that you mentioned that. I just never thought about. I just unload them if they're not perfect, I guess. Let's take a look at fingers 1 and 2 and 3 on frets 9, 10, or 9, 11, and 13. We'll run through that program. Let's get that one going. So 1 E and a 2. Good point though, Soul. Really great point. And I think the easier I touch the guitar, the more tone is drawn from it. It's a hard concept for me to kind of wrap my head around, but through this kind of repetition, through this morning ritual for guitar growth kind of repetition, I'm literally here. So far, so good. Good Lord willing, I'll continue to be here. But the idea is that seating yourself down every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time with all of us here in the live chat and for this morning ritual for guitar growth, there's no other way to break down the barriers of access to the instrument. You know, there's no other way around it. Seat time is essential, so I've built out a 12-hour calendar for me. It's a daily calendar. It's I have flexible weekends for, you know, dinner, family time dinner, and then flex weekends. So if I need to push through a project, then I can get it done. But it's a real deal. You know, this is what I do. This is what I've been doing professionally for a while now. We can say a little while now. And this has been how I've earned a living, you know. And as funny as that sounds, how about this one? This is a nice Pat Metheny chord. But anyway, this is what I do, and sitting with the guitar is a super important part of what we all want to accomplish, you know, realizing what we would all like to accomplish. And we all have probably wildly different goals. And And we'll talk a little bit about goals while I do this right here. A little bit of stretch. I know we have a lot of, for me, for my channel, this seems like a lot of viewers watching at the moment. So I'm going to take a risk and just continue to go through, because I know the stretch isn't exactly where we all want to be. But this is another piece of essential equipment, essential activity for our, as we grow in proficiency and grow in familiarity and grow in harmony with our instrument, which is basically an extension of our self, of the self. And I know it sounds a little bit, hokey, but some really believe deeply in that and want to invest heavily in that. And I work with a lot of adults who are going through those changes. I do have the honor and the privilege of being around that a lot, where we want to prioritize something new in our lives, and sitting down with yourself for an hour a day is a big ask for many adults. Most adults I know, like medical practitioners, will come and sit for an hour. And I know that inside that there's an internal battle going. In some cases it's raging, like are the patients at my practice receiving the services that they deserve, the medical care that they deserve? And then we break down in tears, realizing they're not. And it's like, oh, hey, well, I'm not really qualified for that. But this is a good time to regroup. It doesn't matter what we're up against, I just watched my friend peel 50 feet off of a rock face and completely broke his leg open, and her leg open, or whatever. But whatever we're going through, I think this is an important time to realize for ourselves. And what I mean by realize it, I don't want to just realize that I have to practice. I actually want to get to the guitar and actually realize the practice, like make it real. So I have to schedule it. I have to be here. I have to do the thing in order to reach the levels I hope and the goals I personally hope to achieve that I've set for my own self, and build goals around them. Goals and objective markers to meet along the way through my calendaring. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Hopefully that's helpful. I'm sure that's helpful to some of us who really want to do this, and I think it's just a time management, largely time management, right? Used octaves for a while. What a great sound, though. All right, anyway, enough about that. Let's get back to fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's jump back into the fray. We'll mix it up. Still working on fingerstyle today, so I did bring my Jazz 2 just in case we wanted to start shredding a little bit in a different way. But let's go ahead and start with 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 E and a 2 and a T E and a go. Marco, the Green Machine. This thing's been on a lot of recordings. It's a good little axe. I don't axe much of it. I find if I ask too much of it, it will spank back. So I don't bite back. So I don't want that. I want to draw the tone or coax the tone out of the instrument. Oh, the 339, Jill. It's a great size guitar for, like, Joan Jett uses one. Great size guitar for her. She loves it. Yeah, it's the 335, but it's just smaller. It's a tighter package. It's a little easier to play. You know, the arm's not way up over it. You know, and I think a lot of people, you know, a lot of people look for that kind of thing too. Last night I was working on what voicing. This is from Guitar for Everyone. Here I'm reading this. I know you can all see it, but Justin's a wonderful guitar player. Last night I was working on what voicings would work best on the progression C minor, C sharp minor over B, A major 7 flat 5, or A major 7 sharp 11, and then G sharp. That's really interesting stuff. So you have a melody. So let's start with 1, 2, 3. Kick up that fourth finger, reverse kickstand. 1 E and a 2, and here we go. And I didn't tell you about Gary Whitner. If you haven't heard Gary Whitner play guitar yet, go check him out. It's worth a check. Gary Whitner. And check out his custom-made Parker Fly guitar. So Ken Parker is a good friend. I was introduced to the initial prototype Parker Fly guitars, and I was playing the prototype while I was playing with Mr. Gary Whitner a little bit. And he is the cream of the crop. I'll tell you what, if you want to do like odd time work, you know, melodic minor work with the major 7 sharp 5 voicings, and there is not another expert on the planet who knows more about that. You know, like his thesis was literally on Thelonious Monk, you know. But anyway, those Parker Flies are pretty cool. And it sounds to me like you've got a pretty good chord progression on your hands to wrestle with, Justin. Jim, that is a sweet green, bro. Like emerald. It's one of my favorite guitars. I've had this guitar. This is probably the guitar. This one and the Taylor 420 are the 2 guitars I think I've owned the longest. And this is a real special rig to me. Tomorrow I've got another special rig lined up to play for you this tomorrow morning on Friday morning's ritual. And I'm really looking forward to that. So let's go ahead and do the kickstand on position number 9. We're kicking that kickstand back. So let's go ahead and 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a go. So 8, 10, 11, 12. Let's give you a second to catch up. Let's take a quick breather because we've been pushing pretty hard this morning. It's already 8:05. And you know, have we heard from Kevin yet? Is Anthony the Soul Blue Wrench here today? Anthony, yeah, I was struggling a bit to find the best voicings for that progression. The red light reflecting off green is nice. Oh yeah. I'll be darned, look at that. Looks like candy. Man, like look at the little highlights here. Wow, that does look pretty cool. Gee. Did we do the finger 1 kick back yet? All right, let's do the kickstand. So 8, 10, 11, 12. 1 E and a 2. Here we go. We'll come back to that in our specialization, Justin. Let's all talk about your chord progression because it's a worthy discovery, right? When you're discovering new pathways forward, let's take a few steps into the unknown together. All right. do that. Maybe another 5 or 10 minutes. We'll be right there with you, okay, Justin? I know you're there playing along anyway, so you're going to be here. So, all right, we'll get through these really cool kickstand activities. Just thinking about breath. Remind the body of posture. Check for any sources of tension, open and active in your body, and then we'll go ahead and release those. Oh yeah. Now we're ready to make good quality guitar tone. It's hard to do. If you find any tension in your body, you'll find that your tone is suffering. If you listen to yourself on recording enough, you can listen into your playing. You can identify in your playing, where's the tension in my body? If you listen hard enough, you can find it. And then you can mitigate that problem with breath. So instead of hearing the tension in your recordings, you'll hear your breathing in the recordings. Oh, you know what we want to do? Also, we wanted to just get that pentatonic stuff rolling. So yesterday we are working on folding in pentatonicism to our practice too. So we had this yesterday. We did this one yesterday. Let's go ahead and work on this one because this particular pattern always seems to get the bad rap. And by bad rap, I'm not talking like, Vanilla Ice. I'm talking like a bad, it's one of those things that we avoid at all costs. I mean, I'll listen to Vanilla Ice if it's on the radio. If it comes over my Spotify, I won't change it. But this one, I'll avoid like the plague, you know what I mean? It's one of those shapes. Most of us just are unfamiliar with, only because we never play it. So here's what we're doing justice for this position. So 1 3 1 3 1 3 10 12 10 12 10 12 1 3 again, but this time you can see that we're stretching the first finger back. So these, you can see right away how the finger stretch exercises are paying off in our day-to-day practice. 1 3 1 3 1 3 1 3. We'll stretch back to grab fret number 9, and then we'll go back to the position from whence we came. 10 and 13, 10 and 12. So 1 3 1 3 1 3. Stretch 1 3, and then 1 4 1 3. Slowly at 2 attacks per beat. So we're counting 1 and 2, and here we go. Man, I used to love that show. how is that comping gig going? That will not only be comping for the pianist, there will be a choir. Whoa! I'm just going to go back through this at 4 attacks per beat just to be sure that we've got this locked in. And by we, I mean my person and my guitar. Hey Mark, we'll see you soon. Happy picking, friend. So let's go back to those chords just for a moment. Where are those chords? All right, so it looks, so number one, if I'm playing with a big band and I don't know, if I didn't do my homework, I don't want to mess up the band. So I'll do, this is the best advice I could give you. First, roll the volume off, and then smile, and then just comp some changes and make it look like you're having a great time, because that's what people really want to see. And that's what the audience wants to see, you know, unless you're Joe Bonamassa, and you've got to display a little pain in your face, you know, because that's what the audience wants to see. So we want peace and prosperity in this particular piece of music you're talking about. So if you need to, you can always sit one out and just kind of, you know, play pretend. But you're the person that does the homework, so you show up for the gig prepared, and then you have the chord. The thing I like to do is pretty much what Anthony's talking about. So it's just C minor. I've got to know the bass line first. If I don't know where the bass notes are, I have no idea, like fundamentally what is going on. So if I don't know bass line, I always learn bass line first. So if you learn the bass line first, you could literally play only the bass notes and be safe. Yeah, no one's going to think down on you. No one's going to think less of you. You outline the changes, follow the changes, make the changes happen in real time, and get paid for the gig. But if you're the kind of person, you have the time to memorize more than a bass line. The bass line C minor, and then C sharp minor over B, with B in the bass, and then A major 7. So I'd stay like right here on C minor, or B, and then B. I know that I need to walk down to A, and then I need to continue walking down to the G sharp, and that's the first thing. I'm going to take all all of the changes way outside the context of the song, and I'm going to just 2, 3, turn it into holdouts so that I can play those bass line anywhere. I can play the bass line. And then I have C. And then B with, C sharp minor with B in the bass, and then I have the A. I'm walking down to A and then to the G sharp. Really cool melodic work, right? And that is what the ear needs to hear to suture the thing together. And then A and then to G sharp. So once I have the bass notes in place, then what I'll do is I will populate the remainder of the voicing. I'll choose the voices that I want. Number one, I could add octaves for the bass line. Only because we spoke about octaves earlier today. And then we can, it's a very powerful interval that's easily overlooked as a guitar player as, oh, that's just beginner stuff, Well, Wes Montgomery made a career on it, so it's, I don't know, octaves are pretty darn cool, as far as I'm concerned. Whether you're playing a breakneck speed or you're playing with the changes, you're just popping a note in there, getting out. You never know what the song needs, what the song calls for, and we're all here, at least I'm here, with an open ear. One of the things that I do every day is I was taught to pray for wisdom, or ask and you shall receive. So wisdom, I am praying for wisdom that I might receive that message from the instructive tongue, the eternal instructive tongue, with my ears, and then process it with my heart. Music works the same way, I think. It's whatever the song needs is what I try to service the song with. It's hard. Some days I'm just not open to it. Some days I'm just like blocked right off, have no interest, and it's so stupid. I don't even know why I do this, why I'm a guitar player, blah, 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 blah. All of us we all go through all that stuff. It's not just but professionals don't talk about it, but some do. Some share. And then I would expand from those octaves and then maybe work the root in the fifth of each chord, right? And then I don't need to play the bass note because, the bass player's job. So C5, and then C sharp minor would be here, and then A, C play, and then right there. Now we're getting somewhere. We're starting to feel like this is a harmonic basis for something. C sharp minor with B in the bass, and then A flat major with a sharp 5. I'm thinking it's more like a sharp 11, but some of us label it as sharp 5. So you get that. I know you get that. So you could still play root and fifth there, or you could just play root and flat 5 on the A, which is cool. Root and flat 5 on the A, because if it's listed flat 5 and it's sharp 4, irregardless, you can still use that tritone. And then that root and fifth for the G sharp minor. So here's the chord progression, and then I would use that. I would go up a half step, but then use take that C sharp minor, that bass note. The cool thing about guitar is we can push that up a half step and then play this collection of tones, the A minor shape, with the first 3 fingers, and then place the flatted 7 in the bass. And then the A flat, or the A major 7 sharp 5 is going to look a lot like this, or a flat 5 is going to look just like this. So, you know, what's happening is we're finding some common tones too. As we start to research this, we'll find common tones. So we're moving up a half step with that E flat to with B flat in the bass. And then the A flat, or the A major 7 flat 5 shares that E flat tone with that G minor shape too. So I would probably start with this, figure out how to get to each chord and transition from each chord to the next as a single unit. So all of the notes appear at once, or you could arpeggiate them to be sure all notes are clear and ringing correctly. And then A major 7 flat 5 moves to G minor with that E flat or whatever, G sharp. You know, kind of interesting that we're spelling a flatted note in a sharp key or whatever. So sounds like it's resolving to G sharp major, and it gives us, it is G sharp major, and then A flat major 7 flat 5, or A major 7 flat 5, and then you can use a sus4 there to resolve to G minor, G sharp minor. This would be a good safe place to be, so hopefully these voicings work for you. All right, so that's kind of what I would do. And then if I really wanted to do my homework, excuse me, I would think about maybe shoving in some, you know, introducing some other chord stab approach since you're working with a piano player. Oh, a la Jim Hall. Hi, sir. What do I keep fat fingers? Oh. Have a good day. Have a good morning, Jill. And just more practice. Yeah, I think hey, Nick, are you still with us? Avoid Ralph's is on the line here. Very cool. We got 2 blue wrenches going. Hey, Nick, I just wanted to see if you're still with us. Are you still with us? All right, let me just get one thing taken care of. There we go. I think that was it. That was it. Yeah, I did a couple of videos on Smoke on the Water. You could search my channel for Smoke on the Water if you wouldn't mind. And I think you'll like what's there. That's my gut instinct. I think you'll like what's there. G sharp major. So we're thinking like those chords, there's nothing wrong with those chord progressions at all. So C sharp minor is another C sharp or C minor. You could add like the minor 7/11. You know, you could add, so if you wanted to use the C sharp minor, you could just move that up a half step. And then if you had that A flat major 7, you know, or that A major 7 flat 5, that works well, because now what you can do is use that to get to the G sharp major right here, or the G sharp major right here. So let's take a look at that. looks like without roots. It's the, write, play, repeat. It's available on Amazon. Jason Carey guitar. It's a notebook. It's a guitarist's workbook. And so when I'm working on things like this, Justin, I'll use that exact book, and that helps me to remember. It keeps a record. I can date. I'm actually writing it physically with my hands, and that really helps me to process all, batch chord progressions and then learn all of the inversions I need for the song. So there's no C minor, only C sharp minor. Oh, it's all C sharp minor. That's kind of good. All right, so that's even better. I'm looking at small font, and so C sharp minor, that makes more sense, right? So now we have, that makes way more sense, another day older and deeper in debt, right? St. Peter, don't you call me, because it's a great classic chord progression. So we have this really nice, you can use this, top 3 or 4 strings. Provide some limitations for yourself. Just limit myself to so here's C sharp minor. C sharp minor 7 or whatever, C sharp minor with B flat in the bass, really C sharp minor 7, right? And then we have the A. You could use the flat 5 there if you want. And then when we get to the G sharp major, we just play the G sharp major triad. So can we? Let's do this when we have, so A with the flatted 5, and then we have the G sharp major. So I would work on stuff like that where I know the chords, all of the chords are sort of low registers. I just work on low registers, medium register. So I'd start with C sharp minor, like something here, and then maybe, and then I learn it in every register I could. So. And then maybe on the top 3 strings or something like that. But I would definitely get familiar with. Range. I just keep it simple. But anyway, here's where we are. And let's see, Blue Zeus, good morning. Good morning. Wicked good. Avoid Ralph, nice to see you. And let's see. Thank God it's not Friday yet. What's wrong with Friday? Oh, Friday the 13th tomorrow, right? Yes, it is. All right, so how else could I do this? Aeolian mode, so I would think that maybe working through the all of the sixes in the Aeolian mode would help to give us some different opportunities to maybe harmonic minor, right? Yeah, really cool stuff. Really great song. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at bright-eyed and bushy-tailed right here at Jason Carey Guitar at 7:30 a.m. And for our Friday, it's the end of the week celebration. So we'll see you all tomorrow morning. And I hope you all have a wonderful day today, and you get some really good quality guitar playing in, and really enjoy every single moment that we have here to share with one another, most especially the families. Okay? And until we meet again, I wish you happy picking.